Hey guys, welcome to our food and beer pairing. I'm Brendan O'Leary, co-founder of True Respite Brewing Company.
I'm Dave Calkins, the owner of Brew Belly.
And we're here to talk about 4 different food and beer pairings with you guys. Dave has kindly provided reheating instructions for the food on your bag already. So if you would please go ahead, get your oven heated up, get your food ready, and when you are prepared to start the pairing, go ahead and hit play and we'll get started on the appetizer course.
Hey guys, we got our first dish here that we've paired with the Kayak Hazy IPA. It's a Korean-inspired chicken wings. I love Asian-inspired things, so I love to pair the beer with the heat of the Gochujang, which is a fermented chili paste from Korea, and they've been also marinated in fresh ginger, teriyaki, and garlic. We fry them up crisp, and you guys will finish them in your oven for about 15 to 20 minutes.
So I brought to pair with the wings today, we have Kayak Hazy IPA. The base malt on this one's a super pale malt. We have white wheat, malted white wheat, and a little bit of malted oats in this guy, and some carafoam for extra body and head retention. We used Idaho 7 Cryo hops, which bring a juicy, fruity sort of character to the beer. And then we have Zamba and Citra hops in the dry hop. Zamba is a new hop varietal created by BSG. It's a proprietary hop, brand new this year. It brings an explosion of tropical fruits, and you'll find when you try this beer that it's almost hard to tell whether or not there was actual fruit juice used in the production of this beer, but this is all hops. Really, really exciting stuff with this new hop varietal out of BSG. So Dave, I think we should take a moment here and taste them together. What do you think?
Absolutely. Twist my arm, yeah.
All right.
So again, the lychee in there, I wanted to pair with the hops and the fruit, and again, the Asian-inspired wing. I think it'll go very, very well. And you'll need this to kind of cool off the heat of that gochujang.
Sure.
I've had it, man. Why don't you dig in?
All right, I'll go first. It sounds great. The smell of these wings is just fantastic. It's been coming through my mask here.
You get the heat, you get the sweet.
Oh my God.
Meat pulls away from the bone. So.
Okay. Yes. Oh, it's brilliant. There's just enough fruit on the IPA, and the bitterness is back there, restrained in a way.
Yeah.
The crispy character of the wings in combination with the juicy, soft profile of the IPA, this is exceptional.
Awesome.
It's like being at a gourmet sports bar.
There you go.
5.
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed that appetizer course. Hopefully you've saved some room here for course number 2. This one is really just a home style cooking here. I mean, you take a cheesesteak and somehow form it into a shepherd's pie. I mean, what's not to love? So you got your buttery crust underneath there. Then we took some of our ribeye, the same stuff we use for our cheesesteaks, chopped it up with some caramelized onions, mushrooms, a touch of gravy, topped it with mashed potatoes, and then spiked the mashed potatoes with some crispy tater tot pieces, and baked it. So I don't know. You might need a nap after this course. I'll leave that up to Brendan on that.
I'm gonna at least need a mask change. I'm drooling into this thing over here.
That's right.
All right, so to pair with this one, we brought Vulture. This is a Black India Pale Lager. We very heavily debated calling it a Cascadian Dark Lager, an American Black Lager, a hoppy dark lager. There are a million things you could call this because this style technically doesn't exist. It's something we created on our own. It's featured with heavily roasted dark malts that bring the character of coffee and even some dark bitter chocolate in here. And we accentuate that with classic American hops in the style of a black IPA. We use Centennial, Cascade, and Amarillo hops in this one. A little grapefruity, a little bit piney, but really your black malt is taking the lead in the flavor profile on this one. And those dark, sort of rich roasted flavors, and that bitterness alongside, the heavier, creamier aspects of a nice, rich gravy are what we're looking for in our pairing here. So, without further ado, Dave, I think it's time to give these a try.
That's right. Go ahead. Some forks here.
Yep, some forks, please. Excellent. And a couple cups. We have our production assistant Steve in the background here helping us with the accoutrements. Okay. So I'm just going to dig right in.
You dig in and I'll pour the beer. I've already tried all these.
Just the texture of digging into this dish before I even get to it is already fantastic.
The best compliment that we get here at Brew Belly is it doesn't suck, right?
It a little more than doesn't suck. Oh my word! The combination of the chewy, potato on the inside and the crispy topping. It's rich. It's fatty. The protein, the savory protein is there. The touch of gravy. Oh my god!
That was the idea to hold up to this beer, was to get that nice fatty ribeye in there. I mean, I think it's perfect.
We're gonna have to do this again. I'm telling you already. Okay. Well, I hope everyone has enjoyed your first entree course. There's plenty more where this came from. So go ahead, give it a pause, and when you're ready to start up on entree course number 2, hit play. We'll see you in a minute.
All right, guys, we've got our second entree course here, paired up with this Imperial Brown that Brendan will get in all the details of that. But for me, this pairing was all about the Stilton cheese on there. Steve had mentioned earlier that pairing this Imperial Brown with the savory dish was kind of a risk, and I thought that adding those toasted macadamias on top and that Stilton blue cheese would be a really good thing here. So yeah, so I took a cavatappi pasta, mixed it with some of our beer cheese, a little bit of blue in there, a little bit of grilled bratwurst on the outside. And then again, I made a crunchy topping with panko, Japanese breadcrumbs, Stilton blue, and then some toasted chopped macadamia nuts. This one, I really want to check this pairing out.
Yeah, I am very excited for this. The beer is It Had to Be You. This is an annual love letter that we brew to our neighbors down the street at Saints Row Brewing Company. Every year for Valentine's Day, we brew each other, fancy custom barrel-aged beers that go in pretty bottles with matching labels. This one is an Imperial Brown Ale that was aged in a double oak rye whiskey barrel from Sagamore Spirits. Kenny, our brewer, took home an absurd amount of macadamia nuts, roasted them himself. They were roasted to perfection. We tossed them straight into the beer once it was in our conditioning tank and let them sit for about 3 or 4 days, and the oils from those roasted macadamia nuts really took to this beer. You get a very, very fresh roasted nut character from this one, and we tamed a little bit of the roastiness and a little bit of that intense nutty character with some vanilla in the conditioning tank to bring this all in to be an all-around very, very nutty treat, almost like a liquid biscotti or something like a baklava, I might say. So let's give this a try here. The macadamia nuts on the nose, I mean, that's the first thing I pick up. There's a little bit of spice from the rye whiskey here. Oh, it's rich, it's viscous, it really coats the tongue, and that lingering aftertaste there is the nutty character from the macadamia nuts itself, and then the vanilla kind of kicks in late after that lingering palate has oxidized. Now, let's see how this plays with some Stilton here. Please. Again, Dave seems to have mastered the combination of textures in a dish here. The crispy breadcrumbs on top with the gooey, creamy cheese in the middle. The nuttiness of the beer definitely remains. A little bit of rye spice is there, and it plays perfectly with that almost like crisp nature of the Stilton cheese here. I've got to get some of this broth in my mouth too. I apologize for continuing to be unable to maintain my professionalism, but holy crap, this is just so good. Well, I hope you're getting as much out of these course pairings as I am. This is my first time trying these incredible dishes that Dave created custom for this event. I hope that you guys are enjoying them, like I said, as much as I am, and I look forward to joining you for the dessert course. So we'll see you in a minute.
Hey guys, well, welcome back from your second entree course here. So finally here we are at the dessert course for all you sweet tooths out there. So this one is a hand pie that's filled with caramelized fresh pears, fig preserves, melted brie, and then some toasted pistachio. So I think from the beginning and the planning in this, Brendan wasn't really buying into where I was going with this. The pears, it's a big beer. This is a 9.5%, really heavy Belgian quad. It needs some dark fruit in there. So I was able to infuse those fresh pears with the fig preserves, kind of molasses. Think you know, the figs in there, and that cheese kind of cuts through some of that, and then you get that crunch of pistachio. So I think it really pairs well with this guy. I know you're a non-believer, you're going to have to taste it, but I think you're going to be on board after you do.
Well, I'm excited. So this beer, Quadraphilia, means a love for all things that come in fours. The label was creatively designed by our designer, Diana Micheli. She goes by Designer Squirrel. You can see it's kind of an abstraction of the thought of Quadraphilia. And likewise, a Belgian quad is a style where brewers would use almost 4 times the amount of grain to brew this beer as a typical Belgian Abbey single, which is where the word quad comes from. So, as you might expect, this is a boozier, bigger beer. You know, there's definitely some alcohol heat that we have in here. We use a few specialty malts that come through, in particular special B malt that comes through almost with a fig-like dark stone fruit type of impression. Those classic Belgian phenolics from common Abbey ales are in here, and in the end it creates this dark, complex, stone fruit rich, spicy ale that, well, we're going to find out how well it's complemented by this caramelized pear, grilled pear, fig, pistachio, and brie pairing.
It's delicious.
Dave sold me, so I'm ready. He's been right every time so far. I mean, those phenolic, spicy clove notes come right off the beer the second you smell this thing. You can see those dark specialty malts right in the way you view the beer here. There's a little bit of booze that comes off the nose. Mouthfeel is medium bodied. Carbonation is actually moderate, I would say. And oh my gosh, that dark stone fruit character alongside the clove and spice really comes through nice on the beer. So, cheers. Oh my gosh, there's so much goodness in here that's sticking to the tray. Here we go. Cheers to all of you. Thank you so much for joining us for our beer pairing and food pairing here today. Dave at Brew Belly obviously is a master with custom culinary dishes. In particular, I think he's shown a real propensity for blending texture, which is something that I am really into as a foodie, and I hope you guys have enjoyed the beer.
Cheers. Right?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.